I swear to you, I saw it move. The scarecrow, the one standing in my yard. Its head turned. Not fast, not jerky, just slow, like it didn't want me to notice. And when I looked again, it was facing my window. I moved out to the countryside last fall. Needed peace, quiet, fresh air, and maybe a bit of space from the chaos of city life. The house I bought sat at the edge of a dying cornfield. The old owners left everything behind: tools, furniture, even that scarecrow out back. I remember laughing when I first saw it. It was cliché, like something out of a low-budget horror movie. Floppy hat, flannel shirt, straw-stuffed gloves, and that burlap sack head with button eyes sewn on crooked. The wind made the field whisper. The scarecrow just stood there. At night, I'd sit on the porch, sip coffee, and watch the stars. I liked the quiet, the sound of crickets, the way the moonlight turned the corn silver. I even grew fond of that damn scarecrow. It gave the place character. But a week after I moved in, things started to feel off. It started small. The first time, I thought it was my imagination. I was heading to bed, looked out the window, and something about the scarecrow seemed different. I couldn't place it. Maybe it was the hat, tilted to the other side. Maybe the way its shoulders slouched. I brushed it off. Wind, gravity, whatever. Then came the second night. I woke up around 3 a.m. to a faint thump, like a footstep on the porch. Then silence. I waited, holding my breath. Nothing. The next morning, when I stepped outside, I noticed muddy footprints near the base of the porch. Big ones, barefoot. And there, in the yard, the scarecrow stood closer to the house. Not by much, maybe 3 feet. But I was sure of it. I tried to rationalize it. The old farmers might have moved it before I arrived and forgot to stake it deep enough. Maybe it just leaned. Still, I grabbed a hammer, pounded the post deeper into the soil. There, secure. Problem solved. That night, the wind picked up, whistling through the corn. The scarecrow swayed under the moonlight like a drunk man about to fall. Then came the creaking, a sound like wood twisting, slow, deliberate, from outside my window. I looked through the curtains. The scarecrow's head was tilted up, staring directly at me. I don't scare easily, but I'll admit it, I didn't sleep that night. Every hour, I'd glance through the blinds. Every time, it looked closer. By dawn, I was exhausted. When I went out to check, it was standing right at the edge of the porch steps. The post was still deep in the ground, as if the earth hadn't been disturbed at all. I called the realtor, half joking, asked if anyone mentioned weird stuff about the house. She laughed, said it was an old farmhand's property, said the scarecrow had been out there since the 1950s. Locals say it keeps the crows and the trespassers away, she chuckled. That night, I dreamed of the scarecrow, except it wasn't stuffed with straw. It was full of something else, something heavy, wet. When I woke up, the smell of rot hit me, strong enough to make me gag. I stumbled outside, and there it was. The scarecrow's shirt was soaked dark around the chest, and beneath it, a slow drip, onto the soil, dark, thick, like blood. That's when I decided I'd had enough. I grabbed my flashlight and a shovel, stormed into the yard, and started tearing at the rope that held it to the post. It was stiff, like the straw had hardened. But when I finally ripped the shirt open, it wasn't straw inside. It was meat, rotten gray flesh, and buried within it, a face, or what used to be one. The burlap mask wasn't sewn onto the scarecrow. It was sewn into it. I stumbled backward, dropped the flashlight, and in the brief flicker before it went out, I saw movement. Its head turned, slowly, like before. I ran, slammed the door, Locked it. Every window. Every light on. Then I heard it, the dragging sound across the porch. The thump of something heavy hitting the door. A low scraping. Then silence. For hours, I stayed there, clutching a kitchen knife, staring at the doorknob. Nothing. When the sun rose, I finally opened the door. The scarecrow was gone. Only a small pile of straw and rotted cloth remained, and something nailed to my door. A photo of me, sleeping. I packed that morning. Didn't care what I left behind. I just wanted out. I drove until the cornfields turned to asphalt, until my cell service returned. Pulled into a motel, locked the door, and finally let myself breathe. But when I turned on the TV, the local news was playing. Body discovered on rural farmland. Police say remains appear decades old. Identified as the original owner of the property, missing since 1953. They showed the footage, the field, the scarecrow's post, still standing. But what made me freeze wasn't the story. It was the background. Behind the news reporter, something stood in the yard, still, watching, its hat tilted slightly to the side, and the burlap sack over its head, stitched into a new, familiar face. I haven't slept since, because every night, I can hear the wind, and something heavier dragging just beneath it.